Good morning.
Morning.
So we are in Stavanger, Norway today. We should have actually come here on the Norwegian Fjords cruise we did last year.
Yes.
But Stavanger got cancelled on the day due to the weather. So I'm glad we've actually made it here this time.
Yeah, so we've come with NCL.
On the Prima.
Yeah, on the Prima. They do provide excursions and stuff. Mostly it's walking tours or like red boat tours or a tour,
Yes.
walking tour hike to like a mountain point. We're not going to do any of those today. We're pretty much docked in the city, so we're just going to get off, have a mooch around and show you what you can do if you don't want to do an excursion.
Yeah, it seems like plenty here.
Yeah.
I love the little houses behind. They just scream
Yeah.
Norway, don't we? They're so cute.
So I think this is the old town, and then there's New Town? Would you class it as New Town? Anyway, so we'll obviously get off and walk around and show you what there is here and then what else there is to do after that. So
I'm ready to get off.
well, let's get off then. Right, so you get off the ship and you are literally in the town by the white houses. Just to point out, if this yellow van would move, there's some taxis there, and we have seen a hop-on, hop-off bus. So if there's something specific you wanted to see that you didn't want to do an excursion for, then maybe that's a good option for you.
I was just admiring the little blue house across there. It's adorable.
So when you come off the ship and you turn left, there's this massive Stavanger Houston mural. We have tried to quickly Google it. We're thinking it's because Stavanger looks like it's... Did you say sister cities? Sister cities with Galveston, Texas, which is, I'm guessing, basically Houston, because if you look at that globe at the top, it's got like an oil rig, and like Texas and Norway are a different colour green on it. So it's a cool like mural there if you're into the artwork. Apparently there's a lot of artwork in Stavanger, so we're going to be keeping our eye out for that as we go around. So there's a ship there. We've just come up one of these little cobbled streets behind these white houses. Just a warning, they can get a little bit slippy. I would not like to walk up them in the winter when they're icy and snowy. But just behind Stacey here is the Canning and Printing Museum.
Yes, I was just reading some facts about it now. So at one point, more than 70% of Norway's exported canned fish production came from Stavanger. But now as a whole of Norway itself, they actually export canned fish to over 130 countries worldwide. So yeah, that's pretty cool really when you think about it, for such a small country really, such as Norway.
Well, it's not, it's a weird one though, because it's thin but it's long.
Yes, that's true. It's just, yeah,
it's very long, so it's not a small country when you think about it. So where these white houses are, this is Gamla Stavanger, this is the old town area, and I was just reading some interesting facts about these houses. So most of these were built in the late 18th, early 19th century, and back then when people moved house, they used to dismantle their house and take it with them, because it's just made out of slate timber. Could you imagine like taking your house down piece by piece when you moved and having to rebuild it? That's crazy. Right, so we're back on like the main front now. We're just by the little harbour. So there's the back of our ship, the Norwegian Prima. Just here, if you're interested, there's the Stavanger Maritime Museum. We showed you one of these somewhere else. Where did we see another maritime museum? Reykjavik, yes.
Yeah, there was one there.
There was lots of museums in Reykjavik.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that one. But just here, in case you like say didn't want to book a very expensive excursion through the cruise company, you can get many different ones here. So there's a very large boat here. I'm guessing that's more of a sightseeing trip around Stavanger. We have also seen, but I think it went by the time we got here, some red boats as well.
Yes, because that's what we had planned last year when we should have come to Stavanger. We were going to do a rib boat, weren't we?
You go up the fjords on a rib boat.
So there is that option. I'm guessing that's nice.
Yeah, so there's a few.
It's a little bit rainy today.
I mean, if you want to spend the big bucks, there's a very nice little, would you class that as a yacht boat? summit. Very posh one there. It says private cruises on it. So if you got a lot of money, go over there. But there's something very special just over here we're going to show you now. Well, we say very special. It's a bit corny for us, but we love it. Right, so there's a Burger King there, but that's not what we're talking about. They've got a 7-Eleven. I'm hoping, I know it might be cold, but I'm hoping they've got some big gulps. You know, especially is it Slurpees from 7-Eleven? You know, the slush ones. I want one of them.
We go them all the time, don't we, when we're in the States?
Yeah.
7-Eleven. So I'm hoping they do proper American Dr. Pepper.
Oh, you love a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, let's go in and see if
Come on. Oh, big gulps, please, please, please. Very disappointingly, it might say 7-Eleven, but it's nothing like an American 7-Eleven. What a shame. No big gulps, no American Dr. Pepper. Let's move on. And then just next to the Burger King here, there's a market. We obviously don't know what days this is on, but you know, keep an eye out for it by the Burger King. They've got a lot of handmade stuff. Some Norwegian woolen sweaters there that are a lot cheaper than they are on the cruise ship, let me tell you that. Just point out, a Norwegian woolen jumper on the cruise ship was $194.
We had 2 each, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
But no, they've got all woolen bits and handcraft knickknacks. There's wooden spoons up there, so if you're into all that kind of stuff, then look out for this market while you're here. So there is a cathedral in Stavanger which is currently closed for renovations. I'm guessing until maybe 2025, according to this sign. And what's he say? I'm thrilled to contribute my carving skills to the 900-year history of this beautiful cathedral. So there you go. If you come in 2025, you can come to this 900-year-old cathedral. But we're hoping it's around this corner because Google Maps is playing up a bit. There should be something around this corner that we don't need, but we will tell you in case you need it. Right, so there's the cathedral. It turns out we've walked in a massive circle because there's the little market by the Burger King. But just behind this, Google Maps was playing up, so it took me around there, all around the buildings. There's your Starbucks. So if, like us, you collect the Starbucks mugs of the different places, they have got them. I can see them from here above the counter. They've got loads of them, but we don't need it now because thanks to Brett and Lisa, they got us one when they came. So if you want one, it's here. Right, okay, so this street behind Stacey's head is called, I have half Google watched a video on this where he pronounced it. He was like something like Uwe Halmgate. So Stacey's going to tell you all about it.
So it's also got another name that the locals call it that translates to Colour Street. Now the idea came about back in 2005 by a local. He was a hairdresser and he had a business around here, and he thought, you know, he took this quiet street and thought do something creative with it that would maybe draw more business to not only his own but other businesses around the area. Yeah, so he thought of the idea, but the houses either side of the street were painted in different colours based on a Miami Vice inspired colour scheme suggested by the Scottish artist Craig Flanagan. So I think a Norwegian guy thought of it. They went for Miami Vice inspired colours and it was a Scottish artist.
We've got a right cacophony there, haven't we?
Combination there. But we'll head down it, and because I think it's only small, but you know, it looks unique.
Yeah, so the street's pretty much just bars and cafes at the end of it. There's a very nice looking little bakery, but we're not going to have anything to eat because we are not hungry whatsoever. There's plenty of little shops down here as well, so we're just going to take a wander down here because it's just started raining again, so we'll try to get under a bit of cover. But there is a few more things down to the left I think we're going to show you just after that.
Just saying that the food's lovely on the cruise ship, really amazing, but we're just sick of eating like savoury things, and we saw the sweet shop and I just said to Kev, we just eat some like sweets from like pick and mix, some pick and mix sweets, but it's one of them where you don't want to put too many in because it might come to about 20 quid for the bag. So
yeah, we'll tell you how much she spends after. Right, so Stacey's got a bag full of pick and mix.
You were putting stuff in as well?
Yeah, well, there was a scale, so once we weighed it, and it was about £3.50. I put a couple of things in, but I'd like to say 95% of this bag is Stacey's.
Lies.
Lies, yeah, of course it is. But this has cost us about £4.50-ish, and I'd like to say, I'll just get one out, that we love these little toffees that they make in Stoke, these Walker's toffees, and they get a better selection here than we get back home.
Where they're actually made.
We don't even get these milk chocolate eclairs ones, so we've come all the way here to get sweets that are made in Stoke that we can't get in Stoke. Oh, just here, so the trawlers come back and the fishermen are coming back in, selling the stuff straight from the sea. You can't get any fresher than that really, can you? I can see prawns and maybe some crab there.
I'll stick with me pick and mix, I think.
So this building behind us is the Norwegian Petroleum Museum. So inside it's got exhibitions on how they drill offshore for oil. So it's got all, as we were walking around as well, there's like old drill bits over there. They've turned it into a bit like of a skate park with some of the old bits. It's really cool just seeing them huge teeth that grind through the sea floor. Inside it's got exhibitions showing you all different machinery and how they produce fuel from oil. So if you're interested in all that kind of stuff, it seems an interesting visit. We did walk around the side. It does have windows, so if you don't want to pay, maybe just peek through the windows, but they're a bit dirty, so we couldn't really show you much. So oil is surprisingly Norway's most important industry nowadays. Years ago it probably was fishing, so if you're interested you could go to the Canning Museum and learn how they used to make a lot of money, and now you could come to the Petroleum Museum and learn how they make a lot of money nowadays.
Right, so that behind me is the Valberg Tower. So that was constructed from 1850 to 1853 and was the former observation tower of Stavanger. So the tower was the permanent lodging of the watchmen, and one of their main duties was to alert the people of the town if there was a fire. There is doors to it. I have just tried to open them to see if you can go inside, but they are locked. Whether that's just now that they're locked, whether you can go in different times, maybe go to the top of it, maybe it's got a bit of history about the place in there.
Maybe. I was surprised when Stacey said it was about fires, but then when you think about it, a lot of the houses are made of wood, so maybe because of that. When we walked up to it, I'm thinking, is it like a watchtower for the ships?
Yeah, for people coming to the sailing in.
Yeah, for the harbour, for the fishermen or something. But yeah, you don't realise that most of the old buildings back in the late 18th century were wooden, so...
Yeah, I'm sure if you googled it, there's more on there about it, or like you say, if you could go inside, maybe there's information in there, but it's a nice little tower, and it's very old.
So there is streets with like shops on there. I can see Levi and Hallie Hansen down there. We've seen a Zara and other bits. But Stacey's making me go into H&M. She's like, they might have a top with Norway on. You might have noticed she's already wearing a top with Norway on from last time we came Norway. So she's dragging me in for some reason. So we will just mention that literally on the other side of the city, it's about 6 kilometers away, there is a monument called Swords in Rock. We won't try and pronounce the Norwegian name for it, but you've probably seen it. It's the 3 huge swords, and they are a monument to the Battle of Lysefjord, in 872 that gathered Norway into one kingdom. So if you're into these, you know, historic events, it's probably a good thing for you to go and see. So they are 3 10-meter tall bronze swords, and the 3 of them represent peace, unity and freedom for when Norway came together as one. And like I say, they're about 6 kilometers away. You can get a bus there. Obviously you'll be able to get excursions there. I think I remember seeing one on the Norwegian app. Can't remember how much it is, but it's probably easy to get a bus there, which is probably about 20 minutes, I think he said, with a little bit of walking either side of it. That's probably going to be a lot cheaper than jumping on one of these excursions. So we're coming to the park behind the cathedral now. There's loads of pigeons and seagulls, and I'm chucking them bits of food, and Stacey's going nuts. She hates it. Watch.
Oh, look at the size of the seagulls though.
Look. Oh.
They're coming up behind there.
Let's chug.
No. I'm just gonna kick pieces of flump away. Oh.
I'm gonna secretly put a piece of flump on her coat.
No, please don't.
And she'd hate it. No, there's a nice park here. Obviously, if you're coming in the summer, it's probably a bit nicer than it is now. There's like a bit of a lake, a pool, a pond. I never know what to call these bodies of water.
Imagine getting back on the ship and be like, excuse me miss, you can't bring that big seagull back on your own. Ah, get it off. Stop it, stop it.
So yeah, this is the pond. I'm calling it a pond now. It's got a water feature. Now you can see here some of the newer buildings that are being built. Obviously they're moving along with the time, so once you get out of the old town, there is the new town, let's say, and as you can see by the camera, it's getting very wet. I'm getting drenched here. I don't have an umbrella.
Yeah, like all day it's just been rain, goes off, on, and it's just on and off again. But in the summer, it'd be nice to have a nice walk around this big lake. You
could bring not a picnic off a ship maybe, but you could go to a bakery and get some nice cakes and stuff.
Yeah, sit around here at a bench or something. We are back at the ship now. It's just behind there. You can't miss it. It's like a great big, huge thing behind.
Yeah, this big blue thing. Yeah, we just got caught in a massive downpour.
Yeah.
We had the umbrellas, but our feet are soaking wet.
And it was coming in sideways as well, so we just thought we'll wait it out, and we were hiding under where it was covered. Yeah,
so we are drenched. We need to go back on and take our wet shoes and socks off before our feet begin to prune up a bit.
Yeah, but it was nice to finally, like we said at the beginning, we didn't get to come here last year on the Norwegian Fjords cruise because it got cancelled, so it was nice to actually come here and have a look round. And like you said, we've shown you a few options for if you don't do any excursions, if you want to pay for the museums or just have a walk around like what we've done, or you can obviously research some of the excursions, but I hope it's just to give you an idea of what there's actually here at Stavanger.
Yeah, so like I said, we're going to get back on the ship. Vlog is finished. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, give us a like, leave a comment if you've been to Stavanger. What did you think of Stavanger? Did you do any excursions? Are they worth the money?
And we've got to go have dinner later, and we've eaten all them sweets. I don't think I fancy dinner.
Stacey ate all them sweets. I had like 4 toffees.
No, you have more than that. I gave you the ones I didn't like, them sour ones.
Yeah, she put a load of these sour ones and she didn't like, so I had to have them. So she's lying.
You can have dinner.
Thanks. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.